Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. Today we're going to make this Flowering Desert card. I've also titled it To Google or Not to Google. You'll see why at the end of the video. Here it is. What you'll need to make this card is the Flowering Desert stamp set, the Waterfront stamp set, the rectangular stitched framelits, specifically the third from the largest, and quite a few stamps today, stamp pads. Sahara Sand, Melon Mambo, Pear Pizzazz, Mossy Meadow, Soft Suede, Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party. You could get by with fewer, but that's what I used. Okay, let's get started. We have a soft suede card base, and then we've got several other layers. First thing we're going to do is some big shot work. We're going to take our Sahara Sand layer, and we're going to take our framelit and just put it towards the top, in the middle, and with the rectangular stitched framelits, we're going to cut that out. And through the miracle of YouTube, I've already got mine cut out here. So set that to the side for a minute, and then we're going to do some watercolor background. So let's get a big block in here and some Pool Party. And what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and put some just in the corner of our block here. Then we're going to take a mister and add some water, actually a decent amount of water. You might want to do this on something other than just paper because it can get kind of messy. I'm going to mix this together. Let's see what color this is going to be. Oh, that's good. And then we're going to just leaving a little bit of space here because I'm going to put a sun there. We're going to watercolor a sky. And this is just plain Whisper White paper, so don't go over it too many times or you'll get pilling. And then I just put a little bit down here for added interest. You'll see why later. Okay, that should take care of that. Then to clean your brush, just rub it on the paper. Take a baby wipe and wipe off your block. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. But after the stamping, we're going to be watercoloring a little bit more in the Sahara Sand. So let's get that ready. We're going to be using Sahara Sand too, so we'll leave that out and get a little bit of misty on there. Okay, right now I'm going to put my sun in the sky. This is from the Waterfront set, the little sun, and I'm just going to put them down up here. There, we're done with the Daffodil Delight. And next for this, I'm going to use the Sahara Sand and I'm going to make some mountains. Ink up my stamp and I'm going to stamp it like right about here, here. And then we're going to stamp one off and put it back here. There. Then I'm going to take this long, skinny, whatever it is, and I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off, and just put some texture in the foreground. Bring back the Aqua Painter, Sahara Sand ink, and then just do that. There we go. That's our background for our stamp. Now you can get rid of the Aqua Painter for, well, I guess for the rest of the project. I'd wipe this off because it gets messy. And take this out of the way. While this dries a little bit, I'm going to bring in the frame and I'm going to, in Soft Suede, stamp my sentiment down at the bottom. And it says, "Be your own kind of beautiful." And we're just going to stamp that down here. And then just to give a little interest to the frame, I'm going to take this little, I think it's supposed to be cactus needles, and I'm just going to stamp all around the frame in the Sahara Sand. Okay, we can just put that to the side. Now bring in your larger piece of Whisper White, and we're going to do a little bit more stamping. We're going to take Pear Pizzazz, and we're going to stamp that large cactus. Then we're going to take Old Olive, and we're going to stamp this cactus. And I actually should be using my Pierce mat for these, but they seem to be doing okay, so we'll go without it. Then I'm going to take the Melon Mambo, and I'm going to stamp 3 of these little flowers. I could have gotten by with a much smaller piece of scratch paper here. You see how stained that is? I wiped that off with an alcohol swab to just get some of that off, and then clean it with stamp cleaner or water to get the alcohol off, because we don't want it drying out. But I find that I prefer my stamps not quite so brightly stained. All right, so this we're going to fussy cut, and it really doesn't take very long, so I'll have Ryan speed it up. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Oh, one hint, cut the top parts before you cut the bottom. Trust me, it's just better. Just a hint, when you are fussy cutting, use your dominant hand just to open and close the scissors, and use your other hand to move the paper. It makes a much smoother cut. You'll be much happier with your results. There we go. It took about, I'd say 2 to 3 minutes to cut that. Not very bad. I'll put those over to the side. We have just a little bit more stamping to do on this background piece. First, I'm going to take some Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stamp this, I don't know what this is, some kind of flower, I guess. And I'm going to stamp that down at the bottom on the right. And I'm going to take the soft suede, and I'm going to use those 2 branchy looking things and just fill in some space over here. And then we have that other little branch, and I'm just going to do the same thing with that. And that's it for the stamping. Now let's assemble our card. Oh, one little thing. That's not it for the stamping. I forgot to do the inside and the envelope, but that won't take long. Okay, for the inside of the envelope, I'm going to take the Old Olive again and that aloe looking stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on the lower right side of the inside piece and the lower left side of my envelope. Then I'm going to bring back my little flower, and in Melon Mambo, I'm going to stamp that on both. And then with the Sahara Sand, I'm going to take that little cactus needle and just stamp around those images. No rhyme or reason to what I do, just gives it a little interest, I think. There we go. Now we're going to assemble. Okay, let's take our soft suede base, and we're going to put our inside insert in first. On the outside, we're going to put down our Melon Mambo layer. Then we're going to put our background layer in here, and using our frame, decide kind of where we want that to go. And I think that looks fine, so put it down. Then we're going to take our frame, and we're going to put dimensionals all the way around it. Quite a few, because you don't want it to sag. All right, let's bring back the front of our card and put down the frame. Kind of place it lightly first, and there's that. Then we're going to take dimensionals and put them on the back of this cactus. Big one there, and I'm just going to put pieces on the rest of it. And don't forget to use the sides of your dimensionals. They're quite handy for things like this. And I'm going to place my cactus like right there. Then I'm going to take the little aloe-y one, and I'm just going to put a little piece of dimensional on the left-hand side of it. So on the back, it'll go on the right side. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the other side here and stick it right down in here. So it goes in front of that other cactus. Okay, now we're going to take the flowers and put a little bit of glue on the back of those. This one, just on the bottom, just a little bit. If you get too much, just dab it on your paper. Stick that on the top middle part of the cactus. And take this one, put it on the bottom, and do the same thing on the left side of the cactus. And then we're going to take this last one and put some glue on that. And then I'm just going to put it down here as if it sort of fell off. And that actually is our card, but I finished it and I really liked it, but then I thought of something else. So you can decide to use this or not, but I'm going to take a little bit of glue and stick it over here. I found some googly eyes in my stash, and these happen to be, I don't know, I think from Walmart, and they are 5mm googly eyes. So we're going to take those, and if you have little micro glue dots, that would probably work better than this, but I'm just going to take it and dip it in the glue over here and put it on the cactus. Just hold it for a minute. There we go. And do the same thing with the other one. And before you mailed this, I would be sure they're really glued in place, solidly in place. But I don't know. I just think it's so much funnier and cuter with the Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful with those googly eyes. So here we have it with the googly eyes. Here we have it without. You choose. Okay, I hope you try it. It's really not that time consuming. I know it seems like it is, but it's really kind of fun. And once you start using that waterfront stamp set, I think you're going to go crazy with it. It's pretty amazing. And if you don't have the waterfront stamp set, you could just do a watercolor wash in the background, and I'm sure it would work just fine. Maybe do a sunset. Anyhow, if you would like to purchase any of these products, they're available at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. We would love your business. Pretty much, we'd love any business. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed these cards. If you did, could you give us a thumbs up and maybe a comment and subscribe? And that's pretty much it for today. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.